Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo is live in the studio, and I will get straight up into the conversation. He's the president and convener for Team Nigeria for Change and also the publisher of Ekoe magazine. Good evening, Otunba, and thank you once again for being with us. It's been a very long time you've been in the studio, so it's my pleasure to have you back again.
Good morning, Okpayemi. Good morning, viewers.
Otunba is speaking like he's in UK. It's evening.
It's always
in evening.
Oh, can you imagine? A very good evening to you, Okpayemi. Good evening to the viewers. You know, it's always my pleasure being here. Thanks for having me again.
Amazing time. We're streaming live, by the way. You can go on all our social media platforms and watch us live. In case you want to drop your responses, your feedback is really important to us. We take them. And on the turn of 5 o'clock, when we come back from the break, we take your phone calls. We also read your messages. So let's get straight up into the conversation. Otunba, yesterday was the final of the European Championship. I know you're a young person and you have a lot of people around you, and also, you know, and early this morning also around 2 a.m. was the final of the Copa America. But let's talk about the Spain, England. Where was your heart and where was your loyalty?
You know, sometimes your heart tells you something else, but your brain, I mean, your head is telling you another thing. I've always loved Spain. I love their brand of football because Spain plays a typical tiki-taka kind of football. But I have this spiritual belief that you bless where you live, where you call your own, and where the place that's prospering you. You should always wish the land well, so you can eat the good of the land. I practically have my residency in the UK, where my family and children are, and I live in the UK, much as I live in Nigeria. So this time, who would I support? My football sense says to me, Spain will win. But my loyalty is with England yesterday, so that England could win. And I'll be seen to have blessed the land that is blessing me. So basically, yes, I wanted England to win, but I knew Spain was going to win. Interesting.
Well, Spain won 2-1. Like I said, we'll give you all of that. In fact, we had giveaways all through last week, from the semi-finals to the finals. All of the winners last week, maybe except a few, have been contacted. So for the ones that predicted on Friday, we'll sort you out and we'll certainly give you all of your giveaways.
You know, Ben, one of the things we're going to do these days is you invite me to your sport program. You know, I was a footballer.
Are you serious right now?
I played for Flying Eagles. I played stationary stores.
Wow.
Yes. I used to present the sports program on TV.
Otunba,
so
I think you should be studied. I think you should be studied. You know, I was going through your profile over the weekend when I was prepping for this session where we're having right now, and I saw, you know, a comment from someone I really respect so much in Lagos, a very senior boss for us within this business. And he talks about how detribalized you are. The fact that you're not even, in quotes, a Yoruba man. I know you're a Nigerian, sure, but of course, at the end of the day, so I'm Yoruba, I'm this and that. How long you've stayed here, the things you have, the investment you have even outside of this space, it just gives me this mindset of, at the end of the day, I'm human first, which is very key. But before we bring into that, let me start from what you just said. Talking about blessing the land that prospers you. Over time, a lot of people have questioned the loyalty that Nigerians have to Nigeria. Issue of patriotism have been brought to the front burner. A lot of people, probably because of political affiliation, religious sentiments, they exude some level of negativity about this country. You know, somebody says, oh, because I didn't vote for party ABC, the country can burn. Oh, it's my party that is there, the country can burn. Talk to us about the conversation around patriotism in this country. How I see you, how Michael sees me, how Said Fuad rates me as a Nigerian first. Talk to us about that lack of patriotism and genuine love for this country from Nigerians.
I think it's first and foremost a thing of ignorance. A lot of people who think they know are actually very ignorant. How can you spite your nose, in fact to hurt your mouth, because your mouth has offended you? you now begin to spite your nose. I mean, that's what's happening. I was telling somebody, I said, Nigeria is, in quotes, things are bad in Nigeria today. It didn't start today. But as I hear this conversation, 90% from a particular set of people who has what I call post-election defeat depression. Now,
that's a new one.
Yes, I just started and I saw that that's exactly what we are going, what Nigerians are going through. A lot of them post-election defeat depression. Now, like 40 years ago, as a growing up young man, I would hear fellas sing, "Ordinary food for man to chop for town, in all day. I heard Sonny Okosun over 30 something years ago sing, "Which way Nigeria, which way to go." Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. It got so bad that even Kollington Ayinla had to tell us, "Erora Jeshu, Erora Mumina, Nitigbo," so I would stop having children because of the terrible economic situation we had at the time. How come suddenly somebody is making us feel, oh, Nigeria was very good? It's Tinubu that is making it bad. I was asking, I said, I have a lot of people I extend hands of fellowship to. None of them have their children go sell bread in the morning before resuming at school for 8:30. I used to go sell bread. Wake up 5 a.m., sell bread, come back home at about 7 and rush to school to resume for 8 o'clock in the morning. So it didn't start today. Does that mean it should continue? No. We seek a better Nigeria. But you see, in seeking a better Nigeria, Nigerians are the problem of Nigeria. The same person complaining about Nigeria, who is a policeman, will go out there and raid and collect bribe before releasing the people. The same person complaining about the government is a lawyer who goes to court every time seeking for adjournment so that the case can drag on for him to keep making money. The same lecturer who will sleep with a girl before giving her the right grades is abusing the country, is not seeing himself. So the change must start from me if Nigeria will experience any change. Therefore, this is the country. I was telling somebody, I said, what I pay as house rent in a year here is what we pay in the UK
in a
monthly. My Naira equivalent of power, energy, is over 600,000 in the UK monthly. I was in Dubai over the weekend. I just came in 2 days ago. And for those who don't drink alcohol, I took 2 bottles of Heineken for 76,000 Naira equivalent. Yes, it is not El Dorado in Nigeria. To make money in Nigeria is tough. But you see, let us stop cursing Nigeria. The same, we have a leadership today. They were not leaders yesterday. They also criticize the government. And the government is a reflection of the people. You didn't go to Ghana to bring those people in government. They were brought from this system. You, a bad follower, will not become a good leader when you get there. So we must all start the change from ourselves. Let's love this country. Let's bless the country that we expect to profit us and to be better for us.
Thank you. I actually just wanted us to start from that page because as a young man, I've always looked at the possibilities of, it's not a bad thing. You want to say, let's see what's on the other side. Let's see how green the pasture is on the other side. People move around. You relocate temporarily and all of that. But for every single time I've had conversation with friends over there, they will tell you that, guy, well, Nigeria is tough. But at every single opportunity, they're running back here because they feel like that social experiment is here. They don't fraternize over there. They don't socialize. My friend was even telling me over the weekend, the one that got married, if I leave Nigeria, I don't know when I'll go to Owambe again. There's just something about that communalism that I think we are missing. That's why I decided us to start that conversation from there. That we need to start talking to ourselves about being positive about this country. Just like you admitted, times are tough. Things are really difficult. Survival, feeding, eating, securing yourself, getting your basic healthcare, electricity is tough. But of course, everybody will not leave this country. So if you continue to curse this country, you're probably making it difficult for people that are going to be here for us to find a way. That is our message from my guest and I for you this Monday evening rather. Stay positive. Now let's get straight up into the conversation. you preside over a team of young and enthusiastic people that are constantly driven the message of change in Nigeria at Team Nigeria for Change. That is one part of what you do. Then the Ekoe magazine. So I'm going to focus in Lagos right now because this conversation is going to have a lot to do with Lagos. Lagos is a cosmopolitan state, expectedly. The numbers are growing, the development are springing up, but we have a lot of challenges in this Lagos. Number one, that they will tell you that, flooding. Admit. But there are people that are also building houses along the right of way. Is one of them. But how difficult is it for Lagos to be properly governed?
That's a very technical and tactical question because at the risk of sounding both political and I wouldn't use both political. I don't want to go deep to say tribal because whether we accept it or not, the government of Lagos must take some things into consideration even before doing the right thing. Unfortunately, we are in a Lagos where we have people who are already prejudiced about any action or inaction of the government. I give an example. We are talking about urban renewal in Lagos. We are talking of doing the right thing as concerning even climate change, as concerning environmental hazards, as concerning, let's come to the baseline, flooding. And the government says, studies have shown that many people have built on canals. There are areas that are supposed to be streets that have been turned to close in Lagos because somebody went to build. And the government says, hey, enough is enough.
It's a go.
Got to do the right thing. And some people will say, this area, we have a lot of non-Yorubas here. That is why the government is doing this. Is it the same thing in Banana Island? Where the government entered the other time to say, the things that are not right here will go. If the government does something in Ajao Estate, and you see it as tribal, what will you say about Idumota, where they have also marked a lot of houses to go? So we should just be open-minded. It is tough for the government because the actions are being perceived by reason of the last election, where they said because somebody voted this, but it's not. I make bold to say I was on the streets for that election, and I say to you, a lot of Yorubas, especially the young ones, voted Obi. It's not just about the Igbos and they're taking pride to say they have voted. No. It was a movement thing. And who says it will continue like that? No. So people should. So those are the challenges that the government is facing right now. But then we have a government. The government of Jide Sanwo-Olu, who just wants to do the right thing. Because a matter of time before he's praised for those things. I give a very good example. When El-Rufai was removing the structures in Abuja that were beginning to contravene the laws, El-Rufai was vilified. He was abused. But years later, they will say, thank God for El-Rufai who restored Abuja. That will be the story in Lagos. It's a matter of time. People will say, thank God for the Sanwo-Olu government, thank God for Tokunbo, who are working tirelessly to restore Lagos. The last flooding experience of about last month, was it about 3 weeks ago, last month, showed that a lot of things are not right and they must be corrected. When you go to an under bridge and you see almost 100 and something rooms
under the bridge
that people are collecting rent for, and you say government must not act, we just experienced cholera
outbreak.
And that's because of and that's because of environmental issues. Places that are not clean, waters that are polluted, and the government says this can't continue. And you want me to agree with you based on your prejudice and your tribal sentiments? No. Lagos is a place where if the government does the wrong thing, people will rise up in one voice to say, this is wrong. But it's not been like that. So those are the challenges we are facing in Lagos right now, and it can only be corrected by the government focusing on the right thing, no matter whose ox is God.
That is the key line for me. No matter whose ox is God, no matter whose toes the governor will have to stand on to make things work. Lagos is open, and this is what I mean. About 2 years ago, the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Honorable Gbenga Motosho, released a statement in terms of the number of people that comes into Lagos. And the fact that sometimes when they are making yearly plan, you have projections. Okay, expectedly Lagos population is about, but in a day, there's always this surge around the people that comes into Lagos. Some of them are not, unidentified. They are not. You don't even know where they're coming from. They are not captured. There's no database to monitor it. What is the biggest challenge that you feel Lagosians are facing at the moment and should be the priority of the government? There are security issues that Lagosians are dealing with. It's huge. There's the flooding, there's shortage of housing. Prioritize the challenges of Lagosians right now, and imagine you speaking to the governor on behalf of Lagosians.
I hope I'm not misunderstood, but the number one problem I see, the uncensored influx of a particular set of people who, when they come in, they are taken to some locations, and the only thing they do is for those that brought them in to buy bikes and hand over to them, and they start causing a lot of security menace. They represent serious security threats to Lagos State. I see it every day. So when I'm walking past Agege, walking past that Fagba area, you go to some part of Lekki, you go to some areas in Ikorodu, you go to some areas in Badagry, and you see these people have interrogated. Some say they are from Chad, they are from Niger. They pose the biggest security challenge to Lagos. That's in terms of. See, the other time when they gang up together to beat somebody to death, I wasn't surprised. We must come up with a measure. If these people are coming to Lagos, they must be profiled. Who are those bringing them in? They must be known. They can't just fold their hands, because there's an explosion coming if we don't check these people. And you see, one thing I tend to love so much about the governor is this. As we are speaking, he's a proactive person. I'm sure he has his plans. But when he releases those plans, I hope it is not still the same people that will shout him down. That's a very. The other day they killed some kidnappers in Lagos. Intelligence had it even before they went. And you see, there are things we don't say about security publicly, but I can tell you that Rajendra Sanwo-Olu and the security architecture in Lagos worked together. As those people came into Lagos, they knew, and they were monitoring. So, what I just described, the scenario I just described, are these people that are brought in trailers, are the biggest threat I see to Lagos. Then the other one is the one that even world projection have said Lagos might be submerged by 2050, which is one of the reasons the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Chukwuemeka, is doing what he's doing now. We must encourage him. We must support him so that we do not cry, we do not go through the terror, the danger when the projection begins to manifest in our very eyes. Lagos, according to international meteorological projections, might be submerged very soon by reason of high water levels. So we need to do the right thing that has to do with our environmental discipline to avoid it.
Interesting conversation we're having. And in case you're just tuning in, I've been speaking with Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo. He is the president of Team Nigeria for Change and also the publisher of Ekomi Ekoe magazine. Ekomi Ekoe magazine is a publication of Image Expressions Limited. And what they basically do is to capture the essence and the beauty of Lagos. I have the magazine right in front of me, and they've got something coming up on Thursday. But before we go into all of that, you talked about proactiveness. About a month ago, NIMET released a warning that some states, about 13 states, would face severe flooding, and about 23 other states are also put on red alerts. But you would expect that because of the nature of Lagos, the government of Lagos should be proactive. Even before that warning came through, last year, millions of properties were lost, lives were also lost as a result of flooding. This year also, properties in millions also had to go. Who will I blame for all of this? The government or the government?
Well, it depends on which government you are looking at. If it's Lagos, while that report came out, I had a copy of the forewarning from the Ministry of Environment warning people in specific areas to either relocate. In fact, it got to know that the Lagos State government made available some numbers, some contacts for those such people to contact the state if they needed some kind of assistance in moving. The government will not force you out. The government will not come and move your load out. The government have said, move those of you in these areas based on this projection. That's what the state can do. But you see, give kudos to the Lagos State government in its emergency rescue operations too. Why this is going, they're also on red alert. I noticed something in the last flooding in Lagos. If you agree with me, those floods, some left within 3 hours of the rain stopping. It shows that some things are being done. Some of these drainages are now working, but the intensity of that rain was so much. In Dubai, I had to ask, what happened that Dubai was flooded? You know what they said? They said, it won't happen again. So which is what Lagos is saying now, that, okay, we've seen this. These are the process. These are the things we are putting in place to avoid it happening again. Because I was shocked that on Owolonshoki, that third mainland Owolonshoki axis, within 2 hours, the whole water had recharged and gone back. So those are the things we should also look at, that encourage the government to do more. Where they need us to also call them to action, we should. So that's the way I see citizen participation in government. Right now they are warning us, move. If you know that, let us know. Why they are also putting in place, things to mitigate the impending flooding disaster.
Last week, after about 2 decades of pressure and asking questions, the Supreme Court gave a landmark judgment about local government autonomy. And I've had that conversation since then, irrespective of where you play, whether within the political space or within the corporate world, public service. That was a judgment that would have direct or indirect impact on you. I had the vice chairperson of Onigbongbo local government, Honorable, I'll try and remember her name, I just keep right now. And she talked about the fact that Lagos is already having their own strength in terms of the local government operation. But when you got that judgment, where does it take Lagos to in terms of people feeling the impact of governance at the local government level? I'm trying to remember the name of the vice chairperson. I don't even know how that's kept. But let's go on with that conversation. When you saw that judgment, yes, Honorable Rekia Hassan, how did that judgment, how did you react to that judgment? Looking at how far gone we are in this quest for local government to be truly independent.
My joy was first for states outside Lagos. I have been to a lot of states and I've seen what they call local government structures and systems over there, and it's like maybe they come to work once in a week. Once the jack
is down,
they come
share, we jack out
and go back. to wherever they are. Lagos is one place where the local governments are working. It can only get better, because whether I like it or not, there is no local government secretariat in Lagos that you will go every day that you do not see the people working. We're having an award coming up soon, and we did our undercover assessment of a lot of local governments. Unfortunately, we can't give all the local governments award. To come up with about 5 or 6 local governments was a battle for us, because you go here, you see infrastructure, you think, this is the only local government working, and you go to the next one, you see even some things better. So I was so happy for local governments outside of Lagos who are like non-existent, that this might just jack them up. But my joy was also cautioned by the fact that these are also Nigerians. These are also people who, if they were bad before they got there, they will not suddenly become good because more money has come to them. Because we still have governors who don't take initiatives. There are a couple of governors who sit more in Abuja than in their states. You now have local government chairmen too, who will now go to Israel to bring their security apparatus, guarding them. They'll be empowered to spend more money with the area boys to protect them when people ask questions. But the truth is, this is a very good opportunity for the people to now hold their local government
accountable.
Local government personnel accountable. It's also a good time for the local government people themselves to know how relevant they are now. If a government is seeking a second term and the local government chairman is in good stead with his people, the governor better work with him, or else
he's not going to get nothing from that space.
Exactly. So looking at it, it's a very positive one, but I'm not expressing so much joy because of when I go back into my assessment of some of these people, I see that it is not about policies, it's actually about who they are.
Talking about who they are, as somebody started a trend on X immediately after that judgment came up, and the person said, should I understand the space of free movement? The constitution allows you to live anywhere you choose to live in this country. But somebody asked this question, and I'm putting it to you, that should it be made mandatory that local government chairmen should be resident in their domain? So I'm asking, I'm the local government chairman of Kosofe, for instance, and I'm staying in Ikoyi. So if the man in Ikoyi had not fixed Ikoyi properly, would Ikoyi be appealing to me to stay? Do you also subscribe to that school of thought?
It is not just the local government chairman. How can you be a member representing a constituency in the state assembly
and you don't stay there,
and you are living somewhere else? How can you be the House of Representative member for this area
and staying in Abuja?
It's not right. So I totally agree. Every local government chairman should live in his local government. You know, I've always said this for like 10 years, and I said Nigeria will experience a geometric rise in development if, for example, no government official is allowed to have generator in his house. No government office should have generator. No government official should have his children in school abroad. I mean, wouldn't they fix the schools?
They will.
Wouldn't they fix
because they want the best for themselves.
Thank you. So no government official should even go abroad for medical. Fix the hospitals. The same way, no local government chairman should live outside of his local government.
I'm liking the fact that this my postulation is gaining some momentum. So we started off last week on X, and I'm like, let me ask you, if I'm the chairman of Moso Okunla, for instance, is an LCDA, and then I choose to stay in Banana Island, that's in Etiosa or Ibejuleki. So the question is, how do I know the problem that the people in Moso Okunla are facing? Because I mean, somebody told me of a governor that never sleeps in the government house, that every night the helicopter takes him into his residence in Banana Island. And I'm wondering, how do you feel the pulse of these people when you don't live amongst them? We'll come to that later.
Those people should tell you to go and get your next votes where you live.
Where you live. That's the fact. If you're a local government chairman and you're staying in another local government, when the election comes, go to that local government to go and get your vote. Don't come back to us here. I think we need to start speaking the right senses, the right languages for these people to understand. Now let's come talk about what you do at the Ekomi Ekwe magazine. The first edition I saw was not this beautiful, was not this colorful, was not this attractive. How much change had come through what you do at that magazine, and what exactly do you always set out to achieve with that publication?
When we started Ekomi Ekwe, it was basically supposed to be a support system for Governor Babajide, because it took me like a year of studying him to say that this is a good man who deserves my support. I started this paper is hitting the 3rd year now. Thank God we're on live
broadcast,
national world broadcast, because some people are even joining online. So we are being heard all over the world, and we're also being heard in government house. Not a naira, not 1 naira have I received for this publication from the Lagos State government.
And this is the 3rd year?
And this is the 3rd year. And we roll out every month. And you know the shocking part, we distribute it free. So it's a different way you are selling. Probably you are recouping. It is this check up there, you see it's written free. We distribute it all over Lagos for people to see what this government is doing. And that was the motivation. There are times I have to drop a car somewhere for a loan to get the publication running, and when I get paid on some other things I do, I collect my vehicle. And so it's been like that, because I have this belief that sentiments apart, and I make bold to say no father wants his son to be lesser than him. Actually, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be proud. The way someone is going, it might just be the best governor Lagos ever had, because look at his person. No heirs, nothing. This man will commission housing projects nobody will even know. He will commission a lot of things nobody will know. He doesn't make noise about it. So I now said, hey, we can help him by letting the people see some of the things. That was the motivation. That's how I've been going. Maybe I'll use this video and say, please, Lagos State government, support us. Because people think, in fact, some people think it's owned by the Lagos State.
There's something about a reward system.
Yeah.
I mean, huge advocate of a reward system. When someone does well, you put a reward on them. It doesn't just encourage them alone, it also pushes the people around them to get better. And on the other side, I'm always also a huge advocate of punitive measures. Yeah. When someone messes up, make them face the law.
Responsibility.
And I think that's one of the challenges that we're facing in this country. We do not have a proper punitive system. People commit huge crimes and then we literally just slap them on the wrist. Someone stole public funds and you're talking about plea bargain. What are you plea bargaining for? I mean, somebody stole money and then the person is in court and then he's still in the Senate and then he's still living their life normally. Meanwhile, you've denied thousands of people in your state the right to a positive livelihood.
You know the Yoruba saying that says Anika Penu Pokabolewi. That's our problem.
The Ekomi Awards is set out to recognize people, but on what basis? What are the yardsticks that you've used to have these individuals that would be recognized in your award on Thursday?
I would like people to know that Ekomi Awards is being organized by Ekomi Ekwe publication, which is a grassroots neighborhood inner city newspaper. So this paper has been on for 3 years. I've had relationship with the people. So our first pool of people came from respondents to the survey that Ekomi Ekwe did. So the second layer for those who were nominated by Lagosians themselves. As of this morning, we're in the office, even Michael was with us in the office to know that people were still nominating people. To say, because they now saw the marketing, the advertising everywhere, and they're like, this person should be here. and we were removing a lot of people who would have made it as of this morning. So credibility is one thing I don't joke with. There are a couple of people who have said nobody, not one person is charged any money for
to
this
collect
award.
the award.
Nah, we don't.
Even the governor?
If the governor is charged, is for who is his competition? It's only when you have competition that you say, okay, please take money. So that is a different thing when after the award, someone say, you guys did so much, take, I support you, because we are using the Sheraton. I remember it's a Ekwe Awards and dinner.
It's a big deal.
You can have an idea of how much I've gone into it. I know how much depth is on my head now, but the important thing is credibility, our integrity. Because once we do this one well, the second edition will sell itself. Everybody will want to be a part of it. So then we can have sponsors. Because right now it's hard getting sponsors. Because the first one. And I'm bent on doing it so well. There's nobody. Will you tell me that a ministry like environment doesn't deserve an award for what they are doing? Will you tell me that the transport with the BRT, with the Blue Line, with everything doesn't deserve an award? There's no one award that will get. Well, human beings will be human beings. After the Ballon d'Or is still being challenged.
We go back there.
But it's about credibility and integrity for us.
But it's strictly by invitation. And for an award that's supposed to celebrate, a lot of people within the public space, why do I need an invite?
It will be streamed live too.
So I can watch in the comfort of my home.
Because this venue, the space cannot take all. And we don't have such deep pockets to feed everybody for that dinner. I wish I could use the Unicon Stadium.
Just throw it open.
Throw the Unicon Stadium open for everybody. When we have sponsors. And that could happen next time. I'm very positive. Very possible. But for this one, please bear with us. If you're not invited, you're not a crew member, or you're not getting an award, or you're not a nominee, please watch in the comfort of just hold your phone. It will be on all social media platform, and bear with us for now.
Okay, before we open the phone lines, the phone lines are never closed, and maybe I need to turn to see the number of missed calls we've had since this show started. The lines have been buzzing, but we'll pick your calls very soon. But don't forget that on the turn of 5 o'clock, we take a very short break to take headline news and also quickly pay some bills, and then the show would return. In case you're just tuning in, you're live on Mainland 98.3 FM. Is the Situation Room, and then I have Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo with me in the studio, the president of Team Nigeria for Change and the publisher of Ekwe, monthly grassroots magazine, distributed for free, just to sell the good things in Lagos, and not just about the government of Lagos, because I'm looking at it now and I'm seeing my friend Onitolo Akim. Very interesting young man, by the way. He's so good as a footballer, and he finished with a first class from University of Lagos. If you follow him on Twitter, he's a very interesting personality. So he doesn't come close to anything political, and he's here. And I heard also that he's going to be attending the event on Thursday. But let's come back to this same Lagos. Lagos makes money. We can't deny that fact. IGR is big. Federal allocation is considerably okay. But how come sometimes you look at Lagos and it seems you cannot match the development with the level of money Lagos gets? I have a stat on my phone that I verified last week about the top 20 local government that receives the highest money in the last 1 year. Lagos has about 13 or 14 of those local governments. But you look around, I doubt if there are more than maybe a few places that still enjoy government supplied water, the one we call pipe-borne water, bore that runs into our house. Everybody runs their water right now. People provide their securities. People pay their bills themselves. How come Lagos is not developing at par with the amount of money he gets every month?
I totally disagree with you on that.
Let's go on. Let's take it on.
Let's do relatively speaking. You say people provide their own securities.
Yeah, I do.
You and I can say that because we are. You can go out, come back every day. I can't remember the last time you heard of security breach in Lagos. Relatively, compared to what we have around, even around us. You look at Lagos and you see massive developments every week, every month. The BRT alone, the railway system alone. Railway is supposed to be what federal government does, because Lagos earns money. Lagos is doing railways. Now the red line is about to start from Island to the mainland. That alone is massive. It's a project that even federal governments have not been able to match Lagos in their own railway system that they have been doing. We look at the schools. You need to, my brother, when I did a small survey on public schools in Lagos and Abuja, that made me take my kids out of private school and put them in public school and do what, and got the private teacher teaching them at home. I saw that the public school system in Lagos, and like I said, at Abuja, are working heavily, are working very well. But because they were dilapidated for a long time, we all lost interest. A lot of people will argue, even without doing the research, I say go and do. What are we looking at? The security apparatus in Lagos alone takes a lot of money, because now we sleep with our eyes closed in Lagos. The threats last month by some kidnappers were neutralized immediately, and this comes by intelligence, and intelligence is not cheap. We see the waterways being developed now. Hey, Okpebbi, there's a bridge coming up from Okpebbi. No, coming up from Ojota, ending in Okpebbi. Begin to picture how it will be up there. The first mainland bridge is commencing very soon. I mean, but being the Oliver Twist that I am,
you always ask for more.
We can ask for more. We can always ask for more. But that Lagos is not. Lagos is spending the money. Of course, there is no government in Nigeria that doesn't need to block some leakages too. Lagos might also need to look at some places where they need to, which is what we all wish for. But Lagos is doing extremely well.
Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo, there's a challenge in Lagos that affects you, maybe indirectly. Maybe once in a while you do public transport, unlike me that does that every time. And I remember the build up to the last general election, I was privileged to have all of the governorship candidates, except our Governor Sanwo-Olu, live in the studio, from Labour to our court party to PDP. Every single of their candidates was interviewed right where you're seated here. And one question I always ask them is, why is Lagos looking like we've handed over public transport system to Lagos to Agberos? It's a menace. There was an afternoon I left the office and I took bus to Oshodi. I wasn't going anywhere. I just said to just have, a road survey myself. And the moment you leave Anthony here, and then you move base to the top of the Oshodi, almost every 100 meters, there are boys collecting 100 naira, 200 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira from people. And who bears that? It is the road users. They will have to pay more for transport. Why is the Lagos state government struggling with the control of Agbero in a commercial city, with the prospect of being a cosmopolitan city, with a city that has the 5th largest economy in Africa? Why is Agbero dictating Lagos public space?
I don't know.
Transportation.
I don't know.
You should know.
Why
You're
should
on
I
the
know?
street.
So
you're close to the government.
Yes.
So why shouldn't you know?
The ones I know, I will answer. The ones I don't know, I won't answer. I won't pretend to know everything. But that's another. I can also say to you, we have a peculiar challenge with Lagos. We call them Agbero. We have it everywhere. But I was shocked to see these same men in Johannesburg, and I was like, these transporters,
are they Nigerians? That's on the lighter mode. Apologies.
South Africans, of course. But those in this transport sector, Lagos Agberos are learning from Warri Agberos. Lagos Agberos are learning from Onitsha Agberos. You need to see Agberos in Benin. But does it make it right? No.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make it right. And I think the government is also listening to you. And I must also say, a problem of over 50 years cannot be solved with one swoop.
But Lagos has been lucky with continuity in government. From 1999 till now, every single governor in Lagos has come from the same source.
I said the problem of 50 years.
Oh, so that one is just 25 years.
So we're coming into it, and I see, and in all honesty, the way it was 20 years ago is not the way it is now.
Is it worse now?
No, it's getting better.
Are you sure, Thomas?
Yes, I can tell you that because I'm also in direct contact with some of the main players.
So that's why you should answer my question.
That's why I'm answering. No, I said my first version was just in the light.
I know.
Now, the NURTW in Lagos, as of this morning, I spoke with their exco, and we are looking at signing an accord for some of us to manage their PR, manage their processes through, which they will never have done before. So a lot of people have been injected into it now. Now there are elections, unlike before when there is change of power in NURTW.
There's war.
There's war. People will die over time. That is changing. Lagos is phasing out a particular kind of vehicles now, introducing partnership. A lot of BRT partnership is with NURTW. A lot of, you see these small Suzuki cars now running Uber. So, my dear brother, if we really, let's be sincere and honest, it's changing. But like you also say, when you're in those buses and you see all those illegal checkpoints mounted by some of their ex-schools, that might just be the next level of attention that they will get from both the states and some of us who are getting close to them to enhance these reformations that we are talking about. Yeah, it is a menace. Yeah, the government recognizes it, and gradually the government is working on it.
Thank you very much. It's been a huge conversation with my guest, Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo. I'm seeing all of your messages on Facebook, and pretty interesting ones, Otunba. And take it from me. I'll read all of those messages, and I'll leave my guest to decipher and take whatever he wants to take to His Excellency Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on this one. But quickly, back to the Ekome Awards. What is the biggest yardstick for choosing? I know there are honorary awardees, there are also nominees. Talk to us about the process, how you made your selections, and an assurance of fairness to everyone that had either a win, honorary win, or nominees.
There's only one award that didn't have competition, and that was the Ome-Eko Pataki.
That's the one for the governor.
Yes, that's the Ome-Eko Pataki. Or if there were 3, 4, 5 governors in Lagos, we would have done a competition. But you see, and I must also say, it is only somebody whose motive is not born out of sincerity that will question the award for Babajide Sanwo-Olu for what he has done in Lagos, which he deserves. Now, there is no other honorary. Every other, okay, there's another one honorary. There's a young Lasma guy by Oregun Junction. That's very passionate about his job. Always there dancing.
In the rain is there.
Exactly, you know him.
There was a profile I was done about him recently.
So he's getting
recognition
award.
Thank you.
From us.
Thank you.
Which is also down is under no competition from anybody with him. So but every other one, the commissioners, the parastatals, the private individuals had competition, which was resolved by reason of the committee in charge reached out. There are times they throw it open. Sometimes Vox Pop did all that. But I can assure you, there's not one person that will awarded that will have any overwhelming criticism. I use the word overwhelming because there is nobody that wouldn't have one person say no to. That's why I use the Ballon d'Or example that when Messi will, they say no, it's supposed to be Ronaldo. Well, Ronaldo will say no, it's supposed to be Messi. So true. It's normal human, whatever. So we've done our homework well, and like there's always room for improvement. By next edition, it will get better.
It should get better. I was hoping that Lagos, Ekome will also get better. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let me just pick one or two messages here. Your direct message, you pick your call. 23 Mainland 98.3 p.m. for midweek politics every Wednesday. And I've been speaking up within the group interlink. I mean, thank you so much for finding him worthy of that recognition word that people will use. Lagosians, we are tough. Controlling us, we are tough. From Ikorodu and not allowing us. I need to take a quick break. But now is official. From today, the 15th of July, the federal government has reached an agreement with the government of United Arab Emirates to allow Nigerians with the Nigerian passport to obtain visas to travel to that country. How much of a relief is this?
Sweet relief. Like I said, I was still in Dubai last week, and I saw how devastating that thing has been on Nigerians and Nigerian businesses over there. A lot of our Nigerian restaurants, Nigerian guys who was still on the street who try to help you as a tourist person. They will lead you, take you to places you want to buy stuff.
Like tour guides, everything.
You to buy your stuff. So I noticed that they will give a very sweet relief. They'll be happy. Of course, whether you like it or not, no matter how rich a country is, Nigeria is still one people that when they frequent your place, they spend
you make money.
Dubai, they are building a new Dubai now, massive infrastructure. But I mean, Nigerians will be one of those that will help them in terms of sales, in terms of making that tourist thing a reality. I reckon that a lot of airlines, the Lagos, Dubai, Lagos, London, Lagos routes are very lucrative. So it is a win-win. But it's also time for us to tell our people, no matter what, let's behave ourselves when we are in other people's countries and territories. I mean, it was a big show of shame to see what some of the major things that led to this exiting of Nigerians. Because, I mean, how can you, broad daylight, so Nigerians with machetes on themselves.
You carry cut come on from here, go down for another man.
But that's the height of stupidity.
And you are not serious, my friend.
I'm telling you. You also saw a situation where some Nigerian guys went to rob the gold souk in
openly.
Dubai.
They'll find you.
I know the friends when the people were calling the police, said, leave them. Don't bother, leave them. Because Dubai uses this retina sensor.
They'll find you.
They just went to pick them all. So it's time for, because this over-sabi that some of us Nigerians also have, we need to calm it down a bit. You know?
My friend told me that there was a time he went to Dubai for vacation, and then he went to fill up himself and his host went to fill up their tank. And then so that they drove more than, I think they broke the speed limit within that area. And then like they were the one that told themselves that we've broken the speed limit. Nobody saw them, nothing. And then they were just at home. He said about 2 hours later, they just heard the knock on the door. And then they came to pick both of them. That's about an hour ago. You broke the speed limit. Yeah. You ran over so and so within a restricted area. Yeah. And then he was made to pay fine. In fact, he said they seized the license of his host for about 2 months. They took him to, and I'm like, that's a country that is working. Unfortunately, some of our leaders here would be the first set of people to rush back to Dubai now and continue on their own tourism, and then spend a lot of millions that we can use to develop the country. There is always the Obudukatu Ranch that seems to be a ghost of itself. There's the Tinapa, there's the Kogosi Warm Spring in Ekiti State. There are a lot of beautiful places. There's the Olumarok in Ogun State. A lot of beautiful places that we can also push and sell to the world. Look at how viral the Ojude Oba Festival was. Now look at what the our friends from the southeast are also doing. Over the weekend I saw a video where they also had their own festival with so much color, so much pomp and all of that. I have a feeling and I know that this country would work. You're welcome back to the Situation Room. Don't forget that by 5:30 the full bulletin would come through, and by 6 o'clock I will be back for Sports Cruise. But now let me pick your call, 0913-600-0410. I've been speaking with Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo, very detribalized Nigerian, by the way. Maybe I would ask him a couple of questions in Yoruba, then you understand what I mean. Each time I hear him speak, I'm always like, even me, that I'm a Lagos boy, I can't even speak this much. Let me talk to Mr. Gege. Mr. Joshua Gege, you're my first caller on the show today.
Bro, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
I I greet your best your guest in the studio. I want to ask him a question, please.
Please go on.
Don't you have a natural native name? You know? So, is Jumbo Bestman.
But you saw Nze.
Apologies.
You saw Nze.
No, it's fine. There's Nze in the name.
Is that not native enough? But also my native name is Kelechi.
Okay. I know you're Nigerian, but where exactly are you from?
River State, Bonny.
You're from Bonny?
I'm from the richest community in Africa.
I was going to say that. That's where the big boys play. Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening.
You're welcome, Dumpy.
Okay, my name is Don Peters.
Good to have you join us
Otunba,
today.
good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Right. Okay, I would like to speak on this local government autonomy
Please go on.
that you guys talked about. And I have a serious argument about it. Because it has been getting a lot of attention and accolades from so many people. But from me, in my own opinion, I think it doesn't deserve it. And ask me why, and I will tell you. Had it been that Supreme Court passed a judgment and say that all the local governments, about 700 of them
774
in Nigeria, yes, 7 something, all of them in Nigeria should start harnessing whatever that is in their domain and pay tax to the center. Likewise the state, likewise the regions. It will make more sense to me than giving local government autonomy. That is going back to feeding bottle government what they're running. Money will go straight down to the local government chairman, and that is widening the corruption net. And the EFCC will have more work to do because that money they do not work for it. Okay, the one we have given to the governors, they have not yet account for it, and we are widening more corruption. Had it been those people go to work and generate it themselves and begin to develop their local government,
they'll know how to spend it.
Believe you me, yes, they will know how to spend it. But making more corruption, widening it more, and the whole Nigerians are celebrating it, to me, it does not make any sense to me. I'm being very honest with you.
Thank you.
I have thought about it. I have think about it. I say all this attention, Kula Baru, it makes no sense to me because it is more corruption. But had it been the work for it, and they use the money to develop their region, develop their local government, develop all the nitty-gritty of the place, it will make more sense to me. But just watch and see how the corruption may be more endemic in Nigeria with this law they have just passed. Just watch it. Thank you.
Dan Peters, thank you very much. I mean, I'm always I really always like to be optimistic about stuff, and truth is there will always be issues. In fact, the whole idea of the governor still choosing the state independent electoral commissioner is almost like the governors are still the one conducting the local government elections. But there's going to be a really tough test here. I know a lot of states now that don't have local government chairman would have to rush back and conduct the elections, and Nigerians would certainly observe. Mr. Laiwala, good evening.
This is Laiwala from the
You're welcome.
Your guest tried to evaluate Sowolu and for the last 5 years. We that find ourselves from all the way from Agege down to Ifako local government, down to Alimosho local government. The present infrastructure of the current governor is no longer here. And we are saying for the sincerity of our heart and from the people of Ojokoro particularly, we have not seen any impact of any infrastructure within Ojokoro LCD. I am telling you this in the reason why, because we're doing some appraisal and evaluation for the last 5 years. Say the man has a good heart, and we are not seeing that. When Sowolu was the governor for 4 years, we see those what do they call it? All those small roads within the local government, and we see the impact, the military development within that same area. But we are not seeing that at the time of Sowolu. And the second part of it is that when you are praising the government, and I'm trying to look at it, what are the impact? What are the impacts those things creating into the military environment those people are doing? we are talking about the cholera. It's when I come down from Lagos here. Normal. We have the Minister of the Water Resources somewhere in Lagos City, and government is not even providing the bomb water for a common citizen within the area that I find myself. But these are the issues that we should go to, those common things that are supposed to be looking into.
Thank you.
And Lagos State also have water for every year, and these things are not present.
Thank you.
People become self to themselves in terms of water, security, all these things, as long as it becomes individual.
Thank you, Mr. Laiwola.
This is the issue here.
Thank you very much for reaching out. 09136000410. Let me quickly touch your messages on Facebook. Okay. Hello, Prince Wise.
If I could listen to you,
You're welcome.
okay, hear me. And I pray for now. It's your guest in the studio.
Yes, he's still here.
Good afternoon to you,
Good
Mr.
afternoon,
Pa
sir.
Nigeria.
Good afternoon, sir.
I love you talk. Very talk in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
If everybody should be like you, we know through your name, we know where you come from. And you are in Lagos. And Lagos, your Lagos, our Lagos. You see, that's how it's supposed to be. This country belongs to all of us. Anywhere you find yourself, you will feel at home and develop your area. When we talk of Sanwo-Olu, for me, Sanwo-Olu is working. The development may not start around the every corner of Lagos. But we as I come from our world out of it, I know Sanwo-Olu is working. When the first one started the Lagos Badagry Expressway, when after Pastoral left office for complete 4 years, Lagos Badagry Expressway was abandoned. But now you can still go through that one to where the blue rain is on. The another one is on. We're waiting for that one to start work. So for me, a lot of bridges being taken out, and I one road I complained to the commissioner when the visitors around last 1 year or 2 years.
Thank you, Prince Wise.
Let me say this, please. That old road is being taken care. Coastal road is being built. I just want to appeal to Mr. Governor to complete that road. So the man is working. God bless him. More work for him.
Thank you very much. Yusuf from Ijegun is texting and he says that your guest in the studio is sugarcoating many things. Okay. He's only okay. Let him tell us the name of. Okay. He said, let him tell us the name of the school he changed his kids to. He's not a government employee, by the way. How can the Lagos State government be constructing a link bridge at Okpebi as alternative routes when Isolo Kotun Road is a major road is not motorable? The Lagos State revenue is not matching the development. The Lagos State can do more. That's Yusuf from Ijegun. This one says, God bless your station. Your guest today is doing PR for the Lagos State government, but it's okay. We criticize, okay, we critique from one hand and then we praise when needs be. God bless Lagos. That's Dayo from Songwater. Thank you very much. Hello, comrade Musbao.
Hey, Yemi.
You're welcome.
How are you? How was your weekend?
Good, sporty, good.
Yeah, sporty. Yeah, even though my team, my best London.
Your prediction did not enter. Just go straight to the point.
But what makes me happy is that Copa make me happy. Yeah, Copama make me happy as a Chelsea fan. Good afternoon to your guest over there. He's doing well. Yeah. To me, you're just. I know he's used to this. Sometimes they will hit you and smile at you. So it's way of life. Take it off. Keep up the good job you are doing over there. You know, for any. To me, this local government of a thing. To me, I'm not part of those who are celebrate this court whatever. Because still remain the same. No matter politicians you have in power, if you and I fail to hold them accountable, they always have their way. They will always have their way. Because we are not concerned about their performance to put them on our toes. You only proactive, not reactive. How many of us can come together and say, oh, so I'm facing the local government chairman. We want to go asking your monthly allocation. How are you doing it? We can do that. No, we'll let it is a job, Barry. Can I leave my job to go and do this? But we can talk. In as much we choose just to talk without putting to react, put ourselves together. Who is our councillor? Who is our representative? Most of us don't even know who is representing them. Then what do you expect? You give the politician free hand, they will use it until now you come together to hold them accountable. We start holding town meeting, like I said, in our open community. What we're going to discuss? My representative, how is going to represent me well? My local government chairman, how is going to perform? Be prepared to do that. Please don't blame the politician. Believe me.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Musbah, for your contribution. This one says, Kenneth Arinze, thank you for the kind words. Onotoye Temitokpa Market says, I would like to use this medium to give kudos to Oba Dr. Nitongunwusi, the Ojaja to the Oni of Ife, for the bold step taken to disband various market groups and associations that have inflated price of goods irrationally in the market in Osun State. I would like other Obas to take a cue from this, and would like the governor of Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to see how he can also take off the roads this miscreant called Agberos, creating nuisance, which I can tell you for free that the ones destroying most of the government properties that the governor has been complaining about. Finally, we can call on Dr. Tokunbo Wahab, the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos State, to come and help us clear the canal and drainages at Obadore going to Lasu under Iba LCDA. This canal linked Ijagemo, which the people living in the community have been experiencing heavy flooding, and that has been affecting businesses in that area. Okay, thank you very much. Christopher Effiong on Facebook says, in all of this process taken by the Lagos State Governor to keep Lagos State safe, protected, and secure, what the Lagos State Governor, what has he done to tune down thugs and agberos in Lagos, which is the greatest problem of Lagos this time? We still have the problems of flooding in Lagos. All this should be tackled to make Lagos a safe place. Okay, thank you very much. Alhassan Adebola Aminat says the thing is getting worse in Lagos, because when we're talking about the flood, it's getting worse in areas like Ojo local government. The government and their I'm struggling to get this part of your message, but we're really pressed for time. Otunba Bestman, going forward, I have a lot of messages here, a whole lot, and I'm really struggling to read a couple of them. But what more do you think the people of Lagos deserve from a government that they gave support to in the last election? The build up to the last election was one of the most toxic I've ever experienced in my entire political coverage. We were on the field, we saw all of those things, but a year down the line, how do you think the people of Lagos can heal? Especially coming from the perspective of the government in terms of development.
Well, I think that's one of the motivations for what we're experiencing right now. Coming from what you said, like you said, a toxic election. The urban renewal drive of the state government is something that is going to take a lot of courage to see through. But at the end of it all, Lagos will be the best for it. Lagos will be the better for it. And then, like we also say, there are a couple of things that are in the pipeline. For example, the other day I was listening to the energy plans for Lagos, and the House is about to pass a bill that has been sent, which will help with electricity in Lagos, the private stuff. So many things are in the pipeline that the manifestation will start very soon. There's a renewed drive. Ikeja axis will witness a lot of attention this for any time from now.
It's the capital, it deserves it.
Yeah, you see, of course we can't take on the everywhere at the same time. Lagos, Ikeja is taking, though once Ikeja gets that attention, it will spread. I think Lagosians should just be hopeful for things to continue getting better under this administration.
So give us a message from Team Nigeria for Change and from Ekomi Ekwe magazine.
every Nigerian should start the change movement. And like I said, Thursday is going to be celebration of what we're doing. It's not about government. It's about individuals, organizations, and government. And
somebody like who you come.
And those we stream, and those who watch us online.
Result of continuity by successive accounts. Ekene Okoye says the outbureaus in Johannesburg are only at the park and garages. They are very orderly. You can never see them on the roads of Joburg. My name is Okpayemi Akede. Thank you so much. Otunba Bestman Nze-Jumbo is the publisher of Ekwe magazine and the president of Team Nigeria for Change. Thank you for being my guest on the show today. And big shout out to Michael Ogunkole. Did I get this surname right? Okay, anyhow I call it. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for being with us. That's about the size of the package today. God willing.